Bills fans, I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you a white lie. I'm not going to tell you a partial lie. The truth is, this is likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
Shut up, the Bills! It's not outside! It's not outside! Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Told me now listen, everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition. They say we trippin', they better get out our way. Top of the table, we flippin', we on a mission. Got an unstoppable team, continue to follow your dream by any means. Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to yet another edition of the Coast to Coast podcast. I am your co-host, Beyond 716. And with us, as always, and looking awesome. Love the hat. Love the Bills chain. He's got the Milano jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, Whittle is in mid-season form, okay? We are April 9th. We are a couple weeks from the draft, and Whittle is like a December run for the Bills. We're about to win 5-6 in a row. He's ready. So how you doing, Whittle?
Yeah, I'm great, man. I'm great. I feel a little silly with all this stuff on, but it's fine because I know that there's somebody somewhere that's pissed off that I have all of this on, and I enjoy that. So
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I'm going to continue.
Listen,
I'm going to continue to make them mad.
Yeah, let them. I mean, for what reason, I have no idea. But hey, I say just tune on in. Come on in, make some comments, let us know who you are. We want to hear from you. So
it's probably because I'm wrong 98% of the time. It's that 2% that's really killing me.
I'm
still at 98.
I'm gonna get you at 96, but I'll get you a little bit better every week. So we got 4%.
We get that out of here.
Yeah. I like the hat though. It's pretty cool. That's nice hat, man. I like it.
I bought that in that in Miami because of the heat, bro.
Right.
Heat was killing me.
Oh man, that game I'll never forget with your story, Leishon and Coach down there. At that 21 night, that game was like 130 on the field almost. I mean, it was. To say it's a scorcher is an understatement. So that was.
Yeah, bro, it was brutal. How you doing though, man? How's everything?
I'm doing well, all over the place. Getting ready. Okay. Come next week, we'll be East Coast style. I'll be in Florida for 6 weeks, so I'll be on your time. So we'll be doing the show late, and hopefully we'll stay up to 11 o'clock for our first round pick. Maybe. Hopefully we don't trade out of it like last year, but we'll see. And
I don't think we will.
I don't agree either. I would say, Whittle, if you had to handicap it, is there any percentage you would say we move up in the draft to get somebody? I mean, do you think? And when I say move up, not saying to the teens or the single digits, maybe 23, 22.
Well, I've heard some things. I've heard the Bills are going to be very aggressive early. They're going to get their guy. I think the Bills are going to be very, very aggressive, very, very early. So I would look for the Bills to make some moves, kind of kind of quickly.
Absolutely.
But I don't want to get too much into that.
Sure.
You'll see it if it happens. But I highly doubt the Bills will be picking. Their first pick will be 30. I don't think it'll be 30. I don't think it'll be after 30. I think Bills fans, I think you'll be able to get a good night's rest on draft night. I think we'll be picking
Ooh.
before. I think we'll be picking before 10. I think we'll be picking before 10 p.m.
Okay.
10:30.
That
Yeah,
was
I
a
think
nice
we'll be
little tease,
picking
Whittle.
around that time.
Whittle, that
Yeah.
was a nice tease. You said before 10. Everybody's thinking, maybe the ninth overall, even?
No, not like
Yeah.
Big Ten. No. But I'm not gonna say
Yeah. Give it a shout
too
out to Tina.
much.
Hello, Tina.
What's up,
Well,
Tina? Tina,
welcome.
now before we get any further, what type of Celtics fan would I be without bringing up the game last night?
Here we go.
You know, yeah,
Here we go. I've been
listen,
waiting for this, Whittle. I've
it's
been
been
waiting.
a full calendar year since the Celtics have lost to the Knicks, so I mean that's gotta mean something. It's
Yeah,
gotta mean something, guys.
I'm getting a little tired of this, Whittle. I am getting. Listen, this has got to change. Okay. I mean, I thought
Yeah.
maybe the Knicks were heading in the right direction. We had a great year last year. We could have made the conference finals last year. We make a couple big trades, and moves, which I was lukewarm on. But yeah, it's just. And now Shaq's got us losing to the Pistons in the first round. So there you go. So I digress. So
I don't see that happening. I do think the Pistons are going to give you a run for your money, though. But
agreed.
I don't think that you guys are going to lose. That's crazy talk.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, that was a tough one. The Boston. I mean, it was good to see them at least be very competitive. I guess you got to take the small wins when you get them. But
Yes.
If anything, it gives us a little confidence against Boston. I mean, but still, you got to seal the deal. And, Boston's got those closers, and that's something the Knicks are going to have to figure out. Especially Karl Anthony Towns come playoff time, he's got to prove. He's been great this year. He's been very, very good. Better than even I thought he would be at times, but we all know he's going to be judged on the playoffs. So we're going to see, what he's going to bring to the table.
Right. So let's get into let's get directly into it, man. I'm gonna pull up the itinerary for today because I want to stay on topic, but I don't want to get too far off.
Sure.
I don't want to get too far off of what we need to be talking about today. Okay, I'm in the wrong email
100%.
account. One second.
Take your time.
Okay, here we go. All right. So, first things first, we're going to talk about the NFL draft. So for those that do not know, the NFL draft, first round 2025, the date, April 24th, the draft, I believe, starts at 8 p.m. If I'm not mistaken. They do the first round on day one. Day two will be April 25th. When does day two? I think day two starts at like 7. Let me make sure.
So.
Yes. Okay. I'm looking at it right now. Thursday, April 24th, round 1, 8 p.m. Friday, April 25th, rounds 2 through 3, 7 p.m. And Saturday, April 26th, rounds 4 through 7, that will begin at 12. I think that's a day the Bills are going to be, I don't want to say extremely active, but I think the Bills are going to get a couple of guys. And I'm going to probably give you one of those names tonight in this show that the Bills will get, and I promise you, Buffalo Bills fans, you're gonna like. Well, most Bills fans, you're gonna like. You're gonna like the conversation today.
Let me add a version. How about rational Bills fans, unlike some we've seen out there? For some late, right, Whittle, just to go down that road.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree. Yes.
So while I have this up, so we did talk about that. We'll talk now a little bit about the Buffalo Bills the draft picks that we have so far, right? So
Mhm.
let's see. NFL draft 2025 Bills picks.
Okay.
Okay. So the Bills right now have 10 picks. Um, the Bills will be picking as of right now, first round. Most people already know, like it's 30. Pick 30 is in the first round. We have 2 second-round picks. Uh, Shout out to Minnesota for winning like a million games when they were supposed to stink. We have
Yeah.
pick number our second pick in the draft is pick number 56. The third pick, which is actually in the second round as well, will be pick 62. Round four, we are picking at 109. We got from
Yep.
Chicago Bears. Last year we traded them, I believe, a fifth round pick, and they gave us a fourth in return.
Mhm.
Um, we also pick again in the fourth round, pick 132, round five, which is one of our compensatory picks. Actually, we have three compensatory picks in the fifth round: 169, 170, and 173. And the compensatory picks, if you don't know, are at the end of the round. So if you get a third round compensatory pick, it's going to be after the last. It's going to be after the Super Bowl winners pick in that round. So
Can I?
whichever,
Yep.
if it's, so what would that be? 32, 64, 90, 32, 64,
Yep.
96. Right. So 97 is the first comp pick in the third round. Right.
Okay.
And, just that's the way it's going to go. Fourth round, fifth round, they're at the end, right? So the sixth round pick that we have two. We have 177 we got from the Giants. I don't
Mhm.
remember what that deal was for, but we do have a pick from the Giants for 177 and 206. So the Bills have a total of 10 picks, right? Correct. Got it? Any
Yep.
questions? No, right? All right, cool. Let's
I
see. All right,
think
so
was that pick for Boogie Basham?
it no, that's
No. Was that because remember didn't we get a trade?
we traded Boogie like
We got
2 years ago, though.
yeah, but I thought that pick was way far out. Let me see. Yes, we did. A
Okay, okay, all right.
2025 sixth. I for some reason I remember that. I was like, because I remember at the time, I was like, wait a minute, that pick is so far away. And yet here we are. That's how fast time flies, right? So
Yeah, there you
still
go.
we're cashing it on Boogie. So there you go. Right, Whittle? So at least we got
All right,
something to show for it.
absolutely. So, guys, we have ten selections, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are not going to pick 10 players.
No.
I don't think they're going to pick more than 10 players. But let's just say the Bills decide that they want to get a little more aggressive and make some moves in this draft. Who would be your targets? Our targets need to be teams that don't have a lot of draft capital, right? So
Yep.
the first team on that list are the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons right now have four selections.
Yep.
They have their first round pick is number 15. The second round pick is 46. Their fourth round pick is 118, and their seventh round pick they have two is 218 and 242. Right, so they
Mm.
have five selections total. Okay,
Wow.
um, yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have a good roster though, so I don't know that they absolutely need all those picks, but
Well, you're right, but the other thing is, they're going to have Penix on a rookie deal for the next
right,
4 years, and with the depth in this draft on defense, where maybe they could add, let's say, our 2 second-round picks if we decide, or one of our seconds and something else that could be something they could benefit from. So I agree with you. That's a
right.
definite trade partner if we move up to the top of the draft.
Another one I would look at would be the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings
Mm-hmm.
have four selections. Number one, their first round pick is 24th overall selection. The
24.
next pick is in round 3, 97, which is the first compensatory pick
Mm-hmm.
of the third round. Round 5, they have pick 139, and round 6, they have pick 187. So they have four selections. They have a rookie quarterback as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that they would be in the market to try to get some extra picks and maybe put some more talent around that young quarterback that they have up there. So that's
Mhm.
another target that I think we could pick up the phone and try to talk to about moving up in the draft. The other one is the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders 12-5. Last year they got to the NFC Championship game. Jaden Daniels, aka JD5,
Mhm.
aka the young phenom. Like
He's something.
he is all of that, man. Like I mean, he really took the league by storm last year. Um,
Mhm.
I do not think that the Commanders had a very talented roster last year. But when you have an elite level quarterback like Jaden Daniels, you can hide a lot of other things, and I think that's what they did.
Mhm.
Um, but they have 5 selections. First round pick is the 29th overall, so they pick right in front of us. Um, their second round pick, 61, they pick right in front of us again. We're 62. Fourth round pick is 128, which they acquired via a trade with the Texans. I think that
Mhm.
was like a pick swap that they did.
Yeah, I
Round
believe
six,
so.
yeah, round six is pick 205, and round seven is 245. Now they do need talent on defense. They do need some help on the offensive line. I don't think that I mean, their tight end room is cool, but their main guy is getting a little older.
Mhm.
Gosh, what's his name? The name is
Ertz.
escaping me.
Zach Ertz.
Yeah, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz.
Mhm.
Wouldn't hurt to grab another guy. Diami Brown. I think they lost Diami. Diami Brown was their like second receiver last year. So adding
Mhm.
another receiver to to their wide receiver room makes a ton of sense. They did draft Luke McCaffrey last year, who's a former quarterback, turned to wide receiver. I believe he's
Mhm.
the son of Ed McCaffrey. I believe he's the son of Ed. Um, former Denver Broncos receiver, I think Ed played for the
Yes, that's right.
Broncos.
That's
I
right.
believe didn't he
Mhm.
win a Super Bowl with them?
I think so.
I think he won a
My
Super Bowl with
Ed McCaffrey with the Broncos.
Elway.
You know what my
Yeah,
prevailing
I think.
memory, you know what memory I'll always have of Ed McCaffrey is when he broke his leg on Monday Night Football against the Giants.
Mm.
And why do I remember that date so well, Whittle? September 10th, 2001, the day before 9/11.
Wow. Yeah.
It was that night. I
9/11 the
remember
next
I
day. Yeah.
went out with the boys, watching their Giants, and I remember we went out for that
Mhm.
game, and that was a pretty bad injury too. It was like, ooh, like that was a brutal one. But it just always
Yeah.
how certain things stick in your mind, right? So that was, I think he may have won a Super Bowl with the
I feel
Broncos.
like he did. I feel like he was on one of those Broncos teams that won. I could be
Yeah,
mistaken though.
actually, two of them. He because they won in
Okay.
'98 and '99. If you remember, they went back to
Okay.
back.
Yep.
So yeah, he
Yeah.
was a member of both those teams. That's correct.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So yeah. I think, and you know what? I think former quarterbacks make excellent slot receivers.
Yep.
Uh, so yeah, those are the teams that if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm probably going to target to
Mhm.
see if I can move up. And then also, the draft is a fluid event. Teams may be targeting somebody early. That guy, he may be taken, and they don't have another player on their board worthy of that selection, so they'll trade back. But everybody's board is different. My board's
Mhm.
different than some other Bills fans. You know what I'm saying? Like I value uh nose tackles a little bit more than your traditional three techniques, right? I
Yep.
value big, bigger, more powerful edge rushers because I believe they set the edge better, and I believe more in I like the bendy guys, but for my every
Mhm.
down defensive ends, I like guys that compress the pocket. Use
Mhm.
your power, push the tackle back. Really constrict that pocket, set the edge, really, really well. Be able to anchor against pulling
Mhm.
tackles or disengage from a pin down block from like a receiver or a tight end or whatever. But
Mhm.
those are me personally. Those are my preferences. Other people may like your Mike Greens.
Mhm.
If it's me, it's Michael Williams, Shamar Stewart. It's
Yeah.
those guys. But other people, it's Mike Green, it's James Pierce Jr., it's guys like that that are a little more athletic, a little more bendy, um, faster. Really put pressure on the quarterback by beating the tackles, through speed and athleticism. All right, where are we? We
Yep. And
talked
Tino had a
about
question here about those trade partners. Which team do you think that we could trade with? Like if you had, again, I know it's hard to handicap in terms of what team, but if your gut would
yeah.
tell you, where do you think the Bills say, okay, we got to go to Atlanta, we got to go to, like
I don't
mentioned
think
like
they trade with any of those guys early. I don't.
no,
I think if they do, well, I'm cheating a little bit because I know I've heard that there's already something being talked about, but I do think if they're going to move up, I think you want to move up with like Atlanta. You really don't want to trade with anybody in your conference. You really don't want to trade
yeah,
with another,
yeah,
potential Super Bowl contending team. Like I probably wouldn't care about trading with the Commanders, but at the same time, they were in the NFC Championship last year, like we were in
yep,
the AFC Championship. Couple plays different on our end. We're in the Super Bowl. I mean, they kind of got smoked, but I mean, it's an up and coming team.
oh
They hit
yeah,
on this
they,
draft, and they could be representing the NFC next year. So, um, I would be a little leery about making a deal with them. I would really want to know what direction they're going before
yep,
pulling the trigger on something like that. But Atlanta, Atlanta's a team. Really, I'm not sure what Penix is yet. He did look good a few times. I mean, he looks
yep,
like a rookie as well.
yep.
They're not really consistent defensively, so I wouldn't mind. Trading with them doesn't do too much for me.
I agree. I
Minnesota
agree.
kind of similar to that. Like
Yep,
Minnesota's another. All three of those teams are, they're NFC teams. So I don't
yep.
mind trading with those guys.
Yep, and Dr. Brown, he's I don't really care about trading in the East as long as I get my guy. I mean, there's something to that too, but we all know the price points could be different, right? Like if we were going to
Yeah,
trade with the Dolphins, we all know they probably want to get something more out of the Bills than let's say Atlanta. To be honest
absolutely.
with you.
Yeah,
But
they're
that's
gonna.
a generally good point though, because listen, we traded with Kansas City last year too. We still got our guy in Coleman. I know Chief fans love to obsess about that trade, thinking that it
Yeah,
drives us crazy, and which it doesn't, right?
yeah, it doesn't.
But they, it's just they fire blanks all the time at that. I find it hysterical, but I digress. But yes, I kind of
Not for
see.
nothing. Like when it comes to that trade, I put it to you like this. I know I don't ever have to worry about getting a phone call in the middle of the night and hearing or seeing something come across my news feed saying Keon Coleman was attacked by his girlfriend in his house and he needed police assistance to get him out of there. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that. Keon's a pretty big guy, um,
Yes, yes,
so I think he'll be fine. Uh,
I agree. I agree.
little shot to the Chief fans there.
Hey, got to get him in where you
Okay,
got to get him, right?
absolutely, because the tables will turn eventually, and when they do, oh, Chief fans, I have been waiting. When the tables turn, you will know. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
draft strategy. I think so. I'm glad you brought that up with the trade. Who should we trade with? I think the Bills should be very, very, very aggressive early. I would try to make sure I leave the first two rounds with the cornerback of choice and the defensive tackle of choice. Now we all know if you've been paying attention to this pod, you know my cornerback of choice is Trey Amos. We
Amos.
all know this.
Yes.
Like, come
Yep.
on, guys. We
Even
know
by
who it is,
even
right?
by first mock this year, Whittle mock's sure to go wrong. I'm
I
good with
saw it.
you
I
as
saw it.
well.
Yeah.
Yep. It just makes the most sense. Right, day one, he could be an impact player. And when
Yeah.
we're in the middle of our Super Bowl run with Josh Allen, we're in the prime. As much as some of these other guys at corner could be interesting. I mean, but some of them have red flags, right? You have injuries they're coming off of. I no, I want Amos. Feels like day one. I feel he could. I'm confident he could be maybe our number 2 corner, or at least midway through the season, coming up in 25. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm gonna be. I don't want to say I'm gonna be honest because I feel like when people say I'm gonna be honest, that means well you're usually lying. No. I really feel like the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, there you go, Tiff. Give us Amos. I feel like when it comes to Trey Amos versus your Johnny Barons, your Will Johnsons, I think that's really it. Like those are the top guys. Even like a Maxwell Harrison, who teams have kind of stopped really talking about because the combine does numbers for people. And I'm telling you, you have a good combine, they talk about you like you're the next best thing, even though, but let's get back on target, on topic. I think the only real difference I see between Amos and like your Will Johnson is Will Johnson has, two or three, it was 2 years, 2 years of like elite film from Michigan versus a Trey Amos who started off at a very small school, Louisiana Lafayette. Then he transfers to Alabama and he's sitting behind Terry and Arnold and Kool-Aid McKinstry, 2 guys that went, I believe McKinstry went in the first round as well. I think he went in the back end of the first round. Or he might have went like early second to the Saints. But yeah, those guys were first round picks in the NFL draft, last year. So he sat behind them and then he transfers at the end of his that season in Alabama. He transfers to Ole Miss, plays this year. The guy's elite. Like he's got elite film. And if you go back and watch him when he came in and played against LSU, or when he was at Alabama, I've said this before on this pod. He put he put Brian Thomas Jr. in a straitjacket. So the talent is there. I think Amos, had he been at Ole Miss for 3 years, I think we're talking about him as like a top 10, top 15 pick. But because there's only 1 year of really good film, and then there were questions about like his speed, his long speed, or his ability to recover if he is beat. I think those things kind of drove his draft stock down. But it would not shock me if Trey Amos goes in the top 20.
Yep.
And I think the Bills believe that as well. And I think the Bills will end up with Trey Amos. I think they'll end up with him at the first round.
I wanted to ask you this in terms of moving up. Let's say, hypothetically, we move up to 15, right? Let's say your top defensive tackle and your top corner on the board. Would you feel, let's say we got to part with 56 or 62 to probably make that happen, right? Would you feel more confident in waiting for your corner in the second round, or would you feel more confident waiting for your defensive tackle in the second round in that case?
I would wait for the defensive tackle. I think the defensive tackle group is a lot deeper. I feel like there are a lot of corners. I don't think there are a lot of number 1 corners. I only think that there are a couple. I think Will Johnson's the number 1 corner. I actually think Travis Hunter should play corner in the NFL. I think he should. I think corner should be his primary position and let him moonlight at wide receiver here and there. But I think corner should be his main primary position. I think Johnny Barron is an elite level slot corner. I think he's a pretty good outside corner. I think Amos is the 3rd best boundary corner in his draft. And I don't know that he's not second. I don't know that Amos isn't better than Will Johnson. I'm just saying, I know Will Johnson's better film, and it's more consistent over time. But I haven't seen Will Johnson run yet. Have you? I haven't seen it.
Nope.
I saw Amos run. Everybody wanted to know what his speed was like. Man came out there and ran a 4.45. So I'm going to push Amos heavy. I think Amos is a can't miss prospect in the first round at corner. I think he fits perfectly what the Bills do. And I think that there are a lot more options in the draft at defensive tackle for what the Buffalo Bills need versus what they need at corner. I think if they go out and get Amos early, get your corner in round 2 at the end. I mean, get your DB, your defensive tackle, you know, at the end of round 2, whatever. And this is where I'm at. I am willing to trade one of the second round picks along with the first round pick and a day 3 pick or 2 to move up in order to get Trey Amos. I have no problem doing that. And I don't care if people think you're overdrafting or I don't think he should go this high. Who cares? Jameer Gibbs taking it. They were talking about Jameer Gibbs as potentially a second round running back. He went 12. Is anybody questioning his draft worth now?
Nope.
No.
Nope. And a lot of people did at the time. They really called out Detroit for that.
Brandon Beane, go get your guy. Go get your guy.
We've put ourselves in that position to make this trade, Whittle. And like you said many times on our pod over the last several weeks, we don't have many spots open on this team. Maybe 6 or 7. So if I had to give you an over-under of 7.5 picks, you think we're going under that this draft, or you think we're going over that this draft? So either 7 or under, or 8 or over. Like, do you think we part with?
I think we draft less than 8 players.
Yep. And Steve, I'm gonna ask you a question in a minute, but our guy Lee Sean is here. Traded 3 picks for Amos. I'm in, Lee Sean. Let's go. And I couldn't agree more. I think this is the time where we got to strike. If you got to overpay just a little bit. So if we moved up to 15, Whittle, does it look something like this? It's funny, I'm actually in a mock draft here on our thing. So, wait, where is it? I have like 20 tabs. You know how it is. So pick 30, pick 62, 109, and 173. Would you give up that much?
Say that again?
So for 15, we give up 30, 62, we keep 56, we give up 109, and then we give up 173. So one of the 109, we moved the one from Chicago. That's the 4th, right? So it's a first, late second, a 4th, and the last one of the last compensatory. Well, the 173. Is that too much in your eyes, or you think that's about right?
No, that's not too much.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Let me explain something. I don't care. Okay. I will.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't care.
Lishan has spoken. Real Deal Prime. One of my.
He said no. He said no. I think Lishan said no.
Oh, he said hell yeah.
Yeah, Lishan is not with that.
All right, Lishan, please explain. He's not ready for it. Oh, he doesn't want to trade 3 picks for Amos. See, I'm telling you, I got to look at these emojis a little bit better, Whittle. He does not like the trading the 3 picks for Amos.
Nah, he doesn't.
Dog really likes the defensive tackles. So, listen, I think it's such a major need on this team. And you remember that space we had, you talked about how we were getting to Mahomes pretty quick, but we couldn't hold the coverage, right? It was very obvious. And you looked at our depth after Benford, it was dismal. Let's just call it what it was. It was absolutely dismal for the quality of team that we have. We have to short it up. That is, to me, the number one priority going into this draft.
And guys, listen, man. Like, I'm not just saying make these trades because for whatever reason. I think it's that. I think it's that necessary. I really believe that we need that type of guy. We need that type of player.
And you remember what Sean McDermott said, Whittle, about they need playmakers, right? Talked about that in the offseason, right? Especially after the AFC Championship game, where I think the Bills want to walk away with 2 or 3 real possible game changers here. I think last year was our draft to get a lot of depth guys. We took a lot of rookies last year. And I think this is the year you kind of maybe pinpoint or try to identify some possible real playmakers on this defense.
Right, 100%. Trying to find something right now. Yeah. But yeah. So I listen for me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trade everything. I
What is
don't
ready?
care.
Yep.
Let's make the move, man. I'm sorry.
So
Real quick,
you
let
moved
me
up to
put this up real
15,
quick. Let
yep.
me put this up real quick. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see if you guys can see it, but we'll I pulled up the draft, the draft trade
Value.
chart value.
Yep.
So all right, so let's say we want to go up to 15. That's 265 points, right? We're at
Mm-hmm.
pick 30, so we have 205 points. We're at 205, so we just need to find another 60 points, really, to make it like
Oh,
to make it
then maybe I am
make it.
giving up too much then. Right? I mean, because 62 is 143.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't think this doesn't look right. Hold on.
Do you think it's a
There's
little
got to
bit high
be.
for some of the
I
other
think it's.
picks?
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think that chart is correct. Yeah, no, it's
I
not.
see
Let me
it.
get that
I
out of
see
here.
it. No problem.
No, I got to get this out of here. This is wrong. All right. Um, I have a chart, but it's not like the full chart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make sure I get the full.
Gotcha.
It is all right. I got it. I got it. Now,
And
why does it
I
say before?
and Jan Sports, I do think on the lines of what you're saying. I'm not saying completely screw offense, but I do understand your general point. Winning the Super Bowl, defense wins championships a lot. Even though you do need an excellent quarterback. We all know, and we have that, but and we've seen our defense fail us, unfortunately, more times than not in these big playoff moments. I think this is a perfect year for the Buffalo Bills to really address that over the next 4 or 5 years with rookie contracts and some really impact players.
Where we at? Trying to. All right, screw it. I'm not gonna play around with this anymore. All right, so pick
Lisa.
15 is 1,050 points. Yeah, I'm not playing with this thing no more, bro.
That's a good one.
All right, so pick 15, 1,050 points. We're at 30. That is 620. So
Yep.
that means we need to come up with 430 points. Pick 62. There's 284 points.
Okay.
So if we trade that plus 10, what are we at? 109, 108?
Yeah.
All right, 109, I think it's 70. Yeah, 109 is 76 points.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I mean, yeah, we trade the second. We trade 56 or 62 with 30. A fourth, I would trade the early fourth, and then one of the fifths. That should get us there, right? That should get us there. That'll at least get us close. That's three selections, three picks, or actually no, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 picks. You move up 15 spots. You go get your guy. You still have ammunition to move around in that second round and get another guy that you absolutely need, which is the defensive tackle. You guys know I like Tyleik Williams. I can't say for certain that that's the guy that we're going to go with, but I like Tyleik. I think he's a great fit for what we have going on with the on the defensive line. I think he's really good against the run. I think he's powerful. I think he's got excellent feet. I think he's a really good complement to Ed Oliver. But so let's talk about the roster, right? And the reason why I say The reason why I'm saying that we need to be aggressive is because, let's be honest, we don't have a ton of holes that we need to fill, guys. Like,
Yep.
the roster, I don't want to say it's pretty much complete, but it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I would love that too.
Aqualad. Buffalo. All right. Then we'll pull this up. This is from this year. Or is this from last? No, this is all right. This is from this year. All right, cool. So the Buffalo Bills right now. This is what we're looking at. Quarterback, we're only going to carry 2. We're not going to carry 3. We're only going to carry 2. Josh Allen, Mitch Trubisky. It's 2 guys. Done. Running backs. We're going to carry 4. That is including the fullback. James Cook, Todd Johnson, Ray Davis, Reggie Gilliam.
Now
wide receivers.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
No, the aforementioned James Cook. You think he's gone? Yes or no? Is that a spot that
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think somebody would have to really. I think if somebody offers us a 2nd-round pick for him, he's gone. I don't think they will, though.
No, I don't agree.
I don't think anybody will.
Yeah, I agree.
And I wouldn't trade him for a 3rd because you're going to get a comp pick for him anyway. So what's the point? I'd rather just keep him one more year and, or
send them our best.
I don't know how they feel about Ray Davis. Like, it depends how you feel about Ray Davis. Me personally, I believe that you could use Ray Davis, Todd Johnson, and draft another rookie, and you're fine. Like, I could take a rookie. I could take a rookie late and be okay with that. Because let's be honest, the offensive line is what really drives the offensive line and Josh Allen. That's what really drives the production. All right. So we're at wide receivers, right? So let's keep track because I'm going to keep track. We're at 6. We're at 6 guys, right? So let me put my little notepad. So we're at 6 so far. So
I got that going too.
QB, we're at 2. Running back, we're at 4.
Yep.
Wide receiver. These are just guys that I think are going to make the team no matter what. Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, Joshua Palmer, Keon Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 guys.
That's 4. Okay.
I don't know for sure that anybody else makes it. Now, we do have Laviska Shenault, we do have Tyrell Shavers, and we do have Jalen Virgil. I don't know if any of those guys are going to make the team.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go O-line. Let's go tackles. So for the tackles, the offensive tackles, we got Dion, Spencer Brown, Ryan Vandermark, and Tylen Grable. That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
4 guys.
Okay.
Interior offensive linemen, to include the center.
Okay.
And we got McGovern, Edwards, Torrance, Alexander, Cedric, Van Prank Granger. That's 5. They did sign like 2 other guys that, Kendrick Green got signed. And then there's like some guy named Mike Edwards. I think he was here last year as well on the practice squad. But let's just be honest. That's 5 guys. Tight ends, right? Tight ends, we're at Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that Zach Davidson makes it. I don't even know who Armani Rogers is. Somebody they brought in to play tight end. I have no clue who he is. All right. So on offense, we're at 8, 10.
And Gilliam, right?
21. Yeah, he's been a running backs. That's 4. We got 4 running backs.
Oh, you're
Reggie
right.
Gilliam.
Okay. You got it. So you already put that in.
So
okay.
We're at 21 on offense, right? When we go to the defensive side.
That's right.
All right. So on defense, Defensive ends, Bosa, Groot, AJ, Michael Hoyt, Javon Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5 guys
Yep.
in DE. That's 5. Defensive tackle, we got Daquan, A, Carter, Ogunjobi. Right? That's 4.
That's 4. Mm-hmm.
I don't know that any of these other guys, like Branson Dean, Zion Luge, like, I don't think any of those guys make it.
Nope. Next rookie's going to take that spot.
Right. Linebacker. Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, Dorian Williams, Edifon Ulufoshio, Joe Andreessen, and Bayless Beck. We're already at 6 linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
Cornerbacks. Benford.
Mm-hmm.
Dane Jackson. Oh, he's at cornerback 1 right now, bro.
Oh,
wow.
I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a starter.
Yikes.
Yikes. All right. Benford, Dane, Taryn, Jamarcus Ingram, Cam Lewis. Do we want to say Brandon Cogington definitely makes the roster because he's like a special?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to put him in there.
Okay.
So far, we got Benford, Dane, Taryn, Ingram, Lewis. That's 5 guys, right? 5 corners.
Oh,
we're going to carry.
Yep. Dog brought this up. Did we say Javon Solomon?
I didn't say Solomon. Yeah, we got 5. So that's.
We got 5, right?
Groot. Yeah, Groot. Groot, Bosa, AJ, Michael Hoyt, and Solomon. Yeah, that's 5.
Oh, we did. Okay.
That's Javon Solomon. Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
All right.
Okay.
Safeties.
Mm-hmm.
We got Taylor Rapp, DeMar Hamlin. They got DeMar Hamlin started. Believe that.
Change that. Oh, we got to change that. Yeah, we got to change. No offense, Thor. We love you, but we got to change it.
Taylor Rapp, DeMar Hamlin, Cole Bishop, Derek Foster. Those are your 4 safeties right now. So safeties we're at 4. So we have on defense. We have 24 players on defense so far. So we're looking at 21 on offense, 24 on defense. You're at 45.
45. Mm-hmm.
How many players make the well? Obviously, it's 53-man roster, guys.
We got
a
couple special teams. We got kicker, punter. So that's 2.
Kicker, punter, long snap. That's 3 more guys. So we're from 45 to 48. Your 53-man roster has 5 more spots available. We still have not talked about kick returner. Returner is going to be 1 guy so far. That could be Covington. That could be Laviska Shenault. It could be Daquan Hardy. Those are the 3 guys, right? That are vying for that spot. So kicker, punter, long snapper, that's 3. And now kick return, that's 4. So now we're at 49. That leaves 4 spots available for a rookie to hit the 53-man roster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So let's see. On the list on the roster, what spots are we probably going to add to?
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver, which is 1.
Yep.
We'll add 1 wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
We need to add a tight end, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We need to add a defensive tackle for sure.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We need to add a corner for sure.
100%. Yep. Those are
your 4 spots.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, so let's go through this again. Well, I'll even get crazier. Why not 2 significant trade ups to get 2 impact players at these positions? I mean, we're still going to have.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the year, folks, to do it. I know it's not something we love, and a lot of us think, oh, it's always good to trade down. But Bean's done this before. But maybe this is the year we change the script. Maybe this is, and it's a buyer's market this year. I feel like teams really want to trade down, so maybe we could get a little better value. And I agree with Dog. We need impact, folks. We need impact. We talked about it ad nauseum after the Chiefs game, right? When you see they got Chris Jones, the Chiefs have playmakers that on defense that the Bills just don't have. We're a great whole is greater sum of its parts defense, but that only takes you so far. You gotta have those impact players on the defensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. Now, granted, there are two guys that we have to account for over the first 6 games of the season because they're suspended. Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi. So that's
Fair
two
point.
more spots available for a young guy that we can draft, right? So now we're at 6 players, but the 2 guys that you get have to there are 2 guys that you get that are going to play, but they also need to be able to be hid on the practice squad. So we need them to play, but we don't want them to be good enough to where they hit the practice squad and somebody snatches them up.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? We could see like a Jordan Phillips be signed for a little while, right? Could
a Jordan Phillips?
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind it.
I mean, we
need a pass rush and 3 technique. Bring him in.
Yeah, while we're waiting for Hoyt to come back, we could do that and then decide what we do with him at that point. So there's some options there.
Right. Or the other option is, I mean, I like that option as well, but the other option is we could draft some younger guys, have them play, and then, just put them on the practice squad.
Yep.
Easy
Get them
peasy.
some experience. Yep.
UDFAs, whatever. I mean, this is a really good team. And we're talking about the first 6 regular season games. We're gonna be fine. The Jets stink. The Dolphins. I mean,
Dolphins,
whatever. And the Patriots, bro. The Patriots are still very young. I'm not terribly worried about any of these teams in our division.
Miami could play. Miami has a chance if they have the right draft. They could have a pretty solid season.
Well,
say 10 wins, maybe they could, but
they might be a little light on their roster after the news today. I don't know if you heard, but
a little bit. But I haven't heard all the details yet, so I'm always.
So Tyreek Hill had a domestic incident at his. The police were involved or whatever, so they may be a little light at the wide receiver spot. I don't know.
That could be problematic.
But do you believe people were saying Bills fans were like, "Oh, we should try to get Tyreek. He's not happy." Yeah, no thanks, guys.
Put down the Madden controller, everyone, please. That's not happening.
Please. All right, so we've given. There you go, bro. There you go. Anybody.
As well. I love
What dogs say? See me on the field. Anybody can get it. Anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So we're gonna go to our little break, our little mid-pod break, where we put the ads up. But after that, we're gonna talk about some more draft stuff. We're gonna go over the top 30 visits for the Buffalo Bills so far, and we'll point out some local and private workouts that the Bills have held, and then we'll do the top 5. We'll do top 5 from one of the top 5 position groups. Today we're doing wide receivers. Listen, again, I have to stress this. This is not my top 5 for wide receivers in the draft. These are my top 5 targets for the Buffalo Bills based on where I believe the Bills should be looking at wide receiver and the type of wide receiver that they should be looking for. And it's my list is influenced by what the Bills are doing right now in the pre-draft with their pre-draft actions. All right. So right after the break, we will. Where is it? Right after that, we'll get right into it. Sit tight, guys.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollo's. Call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
And we are
back.
Right. Where are we going? Top 30 visits.
Yep.
I got a list, guys. Did a little homework today. All right,
Love
so let's pay attention. Pay attention, everybody. Okay? Top 30 visits so far for the Buffalo Bills as of 14 hours ago.
Okay.
Thank you to, I can't remember which site I got it off of, but so we'll let's go through the list. Trey Amos, cornerback, Ole Miss. Isaiah Bond, wide receiver, Texas. Keandre Lambert-Smith, wide receiver, Auburn. Olufemi Oladejo, edge rusher, UCLA.
CLA.
Devon Ravel, cornerback, Eastern Carolina University. Dorian Strong, cornerback, Virginia Tech. Braden Swinson, edge, LSU. Tyler Williams, defensive tackle, Ohio State University. Omar Norman Lott, defensive tackle, Tennessee. Billy Bowman, safety, Oklahoma. Billy Bowman Jr., excuse me. Safety, Oklahoma. Jalen Lane, wide receiver, Virginia Tech. Isaac Tesla. I think it's Tesla. Isaac Tesla, wide receiver, Arkansas. Arian Smith, UGA, University of Georgia, wide receiver. Private workouts, Andrew Makuba, safety out of Texas. Isaiah Bond, wide receiver out of Texas. Local pro days Elijah Clark from Syracuse, he's a safety. Sean Dolak, University of Buffalo, linebacker. And there was also there are two other like private meetings that I thought were interesting to point out. Jared Penning, University of Northern Illinois. Landon Parker, wide receiver, Troy. Oh, Jared Penning's an offensive tackle.
Okay.
UNI. Now beyond. Well, I'm not even going to say beyond. Anybody in the chat not named Jance want to tell me who on the Buffalo Bills current roster went to the University of Northern Illinois? Anybody?
Who on the Buffalo
Just
Bills
see.
roster went to the University of Northern Illinois?
Yeah, I gotta. You know what, man?
I think they're
We gotta
aren't
do
they the
like
ones-
a T-shirt giveaway or something.
Yeah, is that aren't they the ones
Anybody?
that shocked,
Anybody? Step in, man. Come on, guys. I
think
need one
they're-
person.
I think they're the ones that shocked Notre Dame this year, if I remember correctly.
No, what Mark says, no idea. All right, so a lot of you guys are googling. Don't worry about it.
I'm even trying
University
to
of
think
Northern Illinois, UNI. There you go. Spencer Brown, folks. UNI.
That's right.
Okay. Jared Penning. Does anybody recognize the name Penning? Because his brother's in the NFL as well. He is an offensive lineman for the New Orleans Saints. Trevor Penning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Jared Penning, listen, go check him out. Yeah, that's Trevor's brother, exactly. You think he's not from the same cloth as Spencer Brown. He's a nasty he's a nasty person. He's a very nasty individual. And you like that with your offensive lineman.
We need some
now,
nastiness, yeah.
Yes. Landon Parker is a wide receiver from the University of Troy. Does anybody know who on our team, who on the Buffalo Bills, went to Troy? Here's a hint. They're coming off of their rookie year.
Went to Troy. Ooh,
Yes.
So must have been a portal transfer. Probably. So who went to the University of Troy?
Oh, my man, dog, stepped in. Javon Solomon.
Yes. Look at that.
There's a trend, guys. I think there's a trend. Dalton Kincaid went to Utah.
Mhm.
He drafted who also went to Utah. Cole Bishop.
Cole Bishop.
Where did the running back who I won't name go that we
Because
drafted?
somewhere James Thomas's ears are ringing, and we all know who.
Utah.
Yep.
Utah.
Our
The
former
Bills,
running back.
like low key, they try to have like a little pipeline. I'm seeing
They
that.
do. Mhm.
Virginia Tech. Tremaine Edmonds.
Yep.
We brought in Tim Settle.
Tyrod Taylor.
Had a top 30 visit with Dorian Strong.
Yep.
And come on, this is Jalen Lane. Also,
Yeah.
Virginia Tech. Okay. So, yeah, where are we at? All right. So we talked about the we did mention the pro days and all of that. The local pro day with Elijah Clark and Sean Dolak. Like those are two names. There were other guys that were there, but those were two names that kind of stood out. So I decided to add them to the list. Now we're gonna get into the top 5 wide receiver prospects. Again, these are my top 5.
Okay.
Based on where I think the Buffalo Bills should be looking at wide receiver.
Okay.
Leonis McKelvin went to Troy. Okay, that's a good one too.
Yes, he did.
Listen, man, low key, man. You know the Bills trying to build a pipeline, man. Some of these small schools. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
Yep.
Oh, wait, didn't we have a guy? Oh, you know what? We'll wait for the draft, but Houston, Marquez Stevenson,
Mm-hmm.
and Oliver, you know who's available for the draft right now? That went to Houston, but actually transferred. Went to Oregon. Defensive tackle, Jamari Caldwell.
Yep.
He started out in Houston. So, and that's, he made my top 5 defensive tackle list because I think he fits exactly what we're looking for. But my top 5 guys, okay, a lot of you guys are not going to like them. I'm going to give you my top 5, but I'm going to give you the first 3 that we have no shot of getting. I don't think we have a chance to get these 3 guys, but I'm going to mention them because I think that they are I think they're fits for what Buffalo is looking for.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Kyle Williams, Washington State wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He can fly, right? Like, I mean, the speed is you can see it on film. He's got good hands. Definitely difficult to keep in front of. Definitely difficult to keep in front of him. I don't think we have a shot. I think he's rising up the draft boards way too high. I think he ends up going in the second. I could be wrong. I could be wrong because I thought what's the guy Jonathan Mingo. I thought Mingo was a 4th round pick. He went in the second to Carolina. Yeah. I thought it was the 4th. He went in the second. So
he got traded for a 4th. Didn't Dallas give a 4th for him or something?
Yeah,
I think that's where that.
I don't know. I think they might have given a second. They gave something stupid for him. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
Dallas.
All right, so that's one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kyle Williams, Jalen Royals. I like Jalen Royals a lot. Me too. I think Jalen Royals is. I don't want to say it, but I feel like, listen, I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When I see him, it gives me Stephon Diggs on the field drive, like vibes. Like he's a really good route runner. He's really competitive at the catch point. He's a natural hands catcher. After the catch, he's dangerous. He can make you miss. He can run by you. He can win at all three levels. I like him a lot. I don't think
Me
we'll
too.
get him. I think he's going to go in the second round. I think a lot of these mock drafts get people messed up because they have these wide receivers fall into the third and fourth round. And wide receiver, like defensive end, like offensive tackle, especially left tackles, quarterbacks, and pass rushing defensive tackles, corners as well. Those are not like if you're good at those positions, you're gonna go early. If teams believe in your skill set at those positions, you're gonna go earlier because those positions carry a heavy price tag when it's time to re-sign people. On those extensions, those price tags for those key positions, we gotta finesse the second round for sure, bro. For sure. Oh no! The second part gotta go though. We gotta trade out. No. We're not trading. We're not trading out of the first round, buddy.
No,
not this year.
No. By the way,
Not
yeah.
this
By the
year.
way, Whittle, in my mock draft, I did have your guy you just mentioned, Jalen Royals at 62. Would you be comfortable with that? Yeah.
I think Jalen Royals probably goes a little higher than that. I think you get him in the I think you get him late 40s, early 50s,
late 40s,
somewhere around there. Yeah, I think he's a mid second round pick.
Okay.
Again, I could be wrong. There are people that are. There are other podcasters that'll tell you I'm wrong 98% of the time, guys. So don't take my word for it.
Don't listen to them.
I just watch the film and tell you what I think. That's it.
Yeah. That means you're doing something right. When they say you're that wrong, that means you're doing something right, Will. We all know.
Yeah, exactly. So I gave Kyle Williams, gave you Jalen Royals. The other guy, I like him. I don't think he'll be there. And even if he is, he's kind of like not what I want. Like I don't really think he's more of a slot to me than anything else. So I'll just leave that right there. So that third guy is Jalen Noel from Iowa. I think it's Iowa State.
I think it is Iowa State.
Yeah, I think it's Iowa State.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so Jalen Noel. Wait, it's him and what's the boy's name? Jane Higgins. I think they both. Yeah, I think they both at the same school.
Both Iowa State. Yep.
Yeah. So I like. Don't get me wrong, I like Higgins. I like Trey Harris. Those guys. I just think that they are more of what we want Keon Coleman to be. I think the Bills still really believe in Keon Coleman. I still really believe in Keon Coleman. I do think Jaden Higgins is probably going to be better than Keon Coleman. I think Trey Harris might be better than Keon Coleman. I do think both of those guys are faster than Keon Coleman. I don't know if they're better athletes all around, but they are both faster. So it's a little easier for them to separate than Keon does. But I don't think either one of those guys are going to get drafted by the Bills. Yeah, so Jalen Noel, similar to the guys I'm going to talk about after this, very, very, very fast on film. You see it. I think he ran a 4.3 and some change, 40-yard dash. On the smaller side, one thing I did notice about him is he does a lot of his damage from the slide. And in college football, it's rare that you get jammed up a lot at the slot. So, what I watch from him, it's a lot of free releases. Good route runner though. He knows how to use his body. Knows how to cross corners up, cross safeties up, and create separation. But again, he's sort of a little bit on the small side. I will say this though. He's got no problem blocking in space. No problem. He is a willing He's a willing, and he's a decent blocker as well. Like, he's not bad at it either. He's on the smaller side, but he's a solid blocker out in space. So I do like him. All right, so my top 5 guys: Isaiah Bond, Ricky White, Isaac Tisla. I'm forgetting one. Hold on. Jalen Lane and Will Shepard, Colorado. So I struggled with the Will Shepard one because I feel like, well, if you're gonna get Will Shepard, then why don't you just put Will Shepard up here? Why wouldn't you just put up like a Dante Thornton or whatever? And there was a play in the Colorado versus. Hold on 1 second. Colorado versus UCF game, right? This young man is on the boundary and just takes off. He runs like a post down the middle of the field. And the catch he made, full extension, diving, snatching the ball away from a defender, that body control, big play potential, 6'2", 200 pounds. He ran like a 4.5, but he had like a 40-inch. Where is it? I want to say, I can't find my notes for him. 40-inch vert and like an 11-inch broad jump or something like that, something crazy like that. Heck of an athlete. I just think, Colorado didn't really have an offensive line and a run game to really work off of. So if you are a deep threat, it's going to be a little more difficult because of the constraints around that offense. But you're talking about a late round guy. You're talking about a 6th-round pick, man. I would not mind taking a flyer on him. Wouldn't bother me at all. Isaiah Bond, like, I don't care what the 40 time says. Isaiah Bond's fast. If you go back to his tape and if you go back to his film in Alabama, religiously running by guys. Even in Texas, when given the opportunity, he kind of took a step back because Matthew Golden kind of asserted himself as the wide receiver 1. But they paid Bond a lot of money to come to that school and and be the guy. And obviously he wasn't. He had some concentration drops, things like that, but 5'10" and some change, 5'11", 180, 185, somewhere around there. Probably can put on a few more pounds, but he can legit stretch the defense. Like, the guy is. You don't get recruited to Alabama if you can't play football, especially at wide receiver. We go through the names you're talking about. Jameson Williams went to Alabama. Amari Cooper, Julio Jones. It's just there's so many. Jalen Waddle. Like, there's so many dogs. Jerry Judy. All of these guys that went to Alabama at wide receiver. So you go to Alabama as a wide receiver, you probably can play football. There's another guy named Ja'Cory Brooks that I like a lot. It was also one of those guys that transferred out of there. But he goes to Texas. Doesn't run the 40 time at the combine that we all thought. And I think he ran I think he got under a 4.3. I think he got under a 4.4 at his pro day. Yeah, listen, he's fast. The guy is fast. He can fly. I would not mind the Bills taking a shot at him if they trade back trade back from the 2nd into maybe the early 3rd. You get a guy like that, or you want to just he's sitting there. You manage to not have to give up too much to get your corner, your defensive tackle. And now you're just saying, listen, we're just going for impact now. Sure, take that guy. Who else? All right. So we talked a little bit about Shepard, we talked a little bit about Isaiah Bond. I'm going to now talk about Jalen Lane. Jalen Lane's a small guy. He's a little under 5'10". So the size is not ideal, right? But see if I can find his RAS. I know I got his RAS up. I had his RAS score up.
Another one of our pipelines too. We talked about Virginia Tech. So
Virginia Tech, yeah, yep. All right, yeah, all right. So I got it here. Yeah, 5 foot. About basically 5'10". 190 pounds. Excuse me, 191. 14 bench reps, which is solid. 225, 14 times. That's pretty solid. Arm length is a little bit under 32, so he's 31 3/4. But this is where Jalen Lane really, really, really like checks all the boxes. 40-yard dash, 4.34. Shuttle grade, 4.12. 3 cone, 6.75. Like these are elite. These are really good times. 40-inch vertical, another 40-inch vertical guy, 11-inch broad jump. Actually, yeah, like super explosive. Hell of an athlete. Now I watched him today, but I really, really like. I watched him before, but today I really got into the. I really got into his and like really, really watched his film today. He is, Khalil. You know what Khalil when you know how we talk about Khalil Shakir's contact balance, how like
yes,
you think he's about to go to that is Jalen Lane. He is a dog. Like he's so difficult. He is so difficult to bring down. And he's fast. He adjusts to the football well. Like he's not a straight body catcher like a lot of these fast guys are. They want to catch the ball and and they want to catch the ball in their body. Yes, he's more of a slot, but I watched him work on the outside and he was fine. Like even on press coverage, he was fine. And at 5'10", 190, man, I mean, we're talking about Jalen Waddle's size with, Jalen Waddle's height or whatever with more like probably about 10 more pounds. I wouldn't mind like if you take a flyer with Jalen Lane in the 4th or 5th.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's got special teams. He's had a punt return for a touchdown. Looks at Virginia Tech. So that's something else you spoke about, the lack of positions on this roster. If you could fill with one guy, that could be something to really think about. So,
and that's why he's one of my guys. Like he's another one of the guys that actually fits. I would go out on a limb and say, you know what? Instead of rostering a Brandon Codrington and a Daquan Hardy, maybe you still roster Codrington because I don't think we can protect him on the practice squad. But I would also draft a Jalen Lane and have him as, your special teams guy, your wide receiver 5, and the guy you want to bring in when you want to spread teams out. I think he could end up being, if the Bills are hell bent on making Keon Coleman your X, this could be your Y. This really could be your Y. Like I think him and Shakir could be interchangeable. His deep speed is legit. His hands, from what I've seen, legit.
Big.
And I'm telling you, he had a play against Old Dominion. I wrote it down too. He had a play against Old Dominion where it was like a scramble drill. He caught the ball in double coverage, broke a tackle, runs up the sideline. They're hitting him. He's bouncing and spinning off the tackles, keeping his feet in bounds, scrambles up the field. Bro, he's legit. Like,
Yeah,
he's legit. And I don't like to tell people go watch his highlights. No, go watch his highlights. Like, go watch Jalen Lane's highlights. I'm telling you, his balance, his hands. He didn't have great quarterback play. Some of those passes that he catches are behind him. And you watch him physically turn his body, reach around, pluck the ball with his hands, and keep going. I like him a lot. I think he could be a lot of fun on this team with Josh Allen. Also, I wrote down scramble drill player. Quarterback's in trouble. His eyes go back to the quarterback. Once he's out in space, his eyes go back to the quarterback. Quarterback's in trouble. He's coming back to the football. You need guys like that. That was one of the things that I saw about Keon Coleman. I said, this is a guy that works very well with what Josh does at an elite level, which is make something out of nothing. You have a guy now that can win at the third level by doing the same thing. And we know Josh got the arm to get it out there, right? So, who's the other guy? Isaac Tisla. What round? Good question. I feel like you might be able to get him in the 5th. I wouldn't wait. I would want to take him in the 4th.
Yeah.
But if I had to wait to the 5th, I would be like sitting on my hands praying or making phone calls and saying, listen, we're trying to get up into the 4th to get, such and such and such. We'll give you the 5th now and future 6 or whatever. Yeah, I would be trying to move up and I'm trying to get him in the early day 3 if possible. He's like that. So I'm putting a 4th round grade on him. I'm hoping you can get him in the 5th or 6th, and then teams are looking back in a year and saying like they said with Bifford, how did these guys get him at 6 in the 6th round? How did he get him in the 6th round? Like people are saying about Puka Nacua. How did this guy get to the 5th? How did Tariq Woolen get to the 5th round? Jalen Lane. Why did he get to the 5th round? And why do the Buffalo Bills have this guy? That's the type of guy. Isaac Tisla. So I got into it a little bit with Greg Thompson on the timeline today. Shout out to Cover One. Shout out to Greg Thompson. It's my guy. Much love and respect. He was defending. I don't want to say he was defending. He wasn't defending anybody, but it was about Savion Williams, the wide receiver out of TCU. I'm sorry. Savion Williams gives me Cordell Patterson with like Quentin Johnson hands. I'm good on that. Like, not really a great route runner at wide receiver. Athletic traits look great, and when you watch him play, it's like, yeah, I'm good. No thanks. Me personally, I'm good. 6'5", 6'5", whatever, 220 pounds. He can run, he can jump, he can do all those different things, except catch the football. The guy's a body catcher. These are my opinion from what I've watched. I want you guys to go out and do your own research, please. Don't trust me because I'm wrong 98% of the time. So definitely go out and do your own research. But I'm not a Savion Williams fan. I'm sorry, you're not. But this kid from Arkansas, Tisla, yeah.
Yep.
Like, if you like Mac Jones, you're gonna love him. You're gonna love him. You're gonna love him. 6'4", 215 pounds. Bro, ran a 4.44, right? So for my Jay-Z fans out there, you know what I'm saying? Listen, it's in the water, man. Like, I really, really, really like this kid. Yeah, his rides was crazy. His RAS was crazy. Yeah. Oh, so Jalen Lane has a 9.53 RAS. Like that's like stupid, man. That's just ridiculous. Isaac T-Slaw, yeah, RAS of 9.97, guys. All right, let's go through let's go through it. Hand size 10, height 6'3.5", weight 214. He didn't bench press, but I mean, when you look at this guy, you can probably tell, like, yeah, he's probably benching like 15 times. Yeah, what up, Q? Vertical for Mr. T-Slaw, 39.5 inches, a broad jump of 10 feet, 9 inches. He ran a 4.44 official and 40. Arm length is kind of short, like 31, a little over 31. But shuttle time was 4 seconds and 4.05 seconds, and his 3 cone 6.85. So a RAS score of 9.97. He's an elite athlete. He's also an elite competitor. He is another guy I would like the Bills to go out and get, because he's another one that tracks the football well. He can run by people. He's physical as well. Remember, Mac Jones would catch a football, get hit, and just kind of bounce off of that hit and keep going for a couple more yards, and he do one of these, the backpack, and first down. That is Mr. T-Slaw. I like him. What else can I say about him? Yeah, like, white dude too. So we want touchdown Jesus back. This is it. It's like this is it.
Yeah.
Again,
That's funny.
go watch his highlights. Like, if you don't want to spend the time of sitting there and watching the film or whatever, you just want to see like the good stuff, go watch his highlights. You'll be highly entertained. But if you do get a chance to watch like Arkansas, like, go to YouTube, pull up Arkansas offense. This what you should put in the search bar. Go to YouTube, type in Arkansas offense VS, and then hit enter, and it'll give you Arkansas's offense. Make sure it's from this past season, and just watch the offense, and you will see this young man pop. You will see him pop off the screen.
Okay.
He is physical, guys. Like, physical. I think it'd be a lot of fun to run the football with Mr. T-Slaw and Mr. Coleman on the field at the same time, with Dawson Knox and James Cook. I think it would be a lot of fun if we could get what's our fullback's name? Why am I blanking on the fullback now? Reggie Gilliam. You can get Reggie Gilliam and James Cook in the backfield with T-Slaw and Coleman and Dawson Knox and this offensive line and Josh Allen. Yeah, we're physical, guys. We're very physical with that, okay? We're very physical, and we can still get down the field and catch the football, because he's got the size, he's got the athletic ability to really win on the third level. I like his hands. I like his aggressiveness at the catch point. I like that he I like that he does not body catch the football. Like, he doesn't have to body catch the football. He plucks the football out of the air. I like that a lot. And wide receivers. Big fan of T-Slaw. And also, Mac Hollins was a gunner. I think this guy could be an excellent gunner as well. So yeah, that's my top 5 from wide receivers. Again, not the top 5 wide receivers in the draft. My top 5 based on where I think the Bills should be looking at wide receiver, which is the 3rd round and beyond. Don't think they should be looking in the 2nd round There are
Yeah.
other players, other position groups that I think are more important right now
Mhm.
in order for us to get over the hump. But yeah,
Right.
that's where I'm at, man.
I agree. I agree.
So,
You sold me on that, Whittle. That a lot of great options for what we need, and then that's the key. Just keep stressing that to everybody listening out there. It doesn't mean it's Whittle's top 5. Period. It means top 5 for what fits the Buffalo Bills. I mean, we're not gonna take another Khalil Shakir player towards the top of the draft. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So let's go, Whittle.
yeah,
We
that's
are.
all I got, man.
Yeah, it's been a great podcast today. And Whittle, as we get closer and closer, by next week, we are going to be
2 weeks away.
days away. Really, almost a little over 8 days away. We're getting closer and closer, right? So
Yep.
it's getting exciting. We're about 2 weeks from tomorrow is the NFL draft. So next week, what do we have on tap, Whittle? In terms of what would you like to do next week?
Next week, we talked about corners. Then we did we do corners already?
I
Next
think
week,
we did. Yeah, but we could still
we
revisit
kind of
it.
talked about corners. All right, so next week, what I'll do is I'll give my top 5 at corner.
Yeah.
My top 5 at edge.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to do edge. I
Yep.
like the edge room we got, man. I mean,
I agree with you. I don't think it's as big of a need as some others may realize, especially this year. We have a late question.
we can
from
still
Tina.
do it though. We still do it, yo.
Would you take
Which
a quarterback?
quarterback would I draft? Yeah, right.
You
But
know
we
what
got
we
Josh
wanted
Allen. We don't
last
need a
year.
quarterback.
We know what we wanted last year, though. We wanted Joe Milton, who got surprisingly traded to the Dallas Cowboys for really not much, right? I was a little surprised at that trade, but I mean, I would still love to see the Bills draft a developmental guy, maybe like a Riley Leonard from Syracuse, maybe as a guy that can be pretty
Wait,
inexpensive.
no. Kyle McClure is in Syracuse. Riley Leonard's the Notre Dame
Yeah.
quarterback.
I got my guys
Yeah.
mixed up. Sorry, I got it
Yeah.
mixed up. I had a little brain, whatever.
So I mean, listen, if it has to be a late round quarterback, I like the kid out of Indiana.
Yeah.
I don't mind him.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I don't think the Bills are going to do that. I really think they're comfortable with. But I agree with Tina. I would love to see a quarterback to groom. There's a lot of reasons. You save on the cap, and what if the Bills hit some pay dirt on that? Right, you have a trade asset too, right? What if, heaven forbid, Josh goes down for a few weeks and this guy comes in? We know what Mitch Trubisky is, and it's not great, right? Sometimes I would rather. I mean, we're probably cooked without Josh anyway, but why not get a guy that could be a possible, like I said, diamond in the rough? So it definitely wouldn't hurt the Bills, especially with the luxury of picks that we have. But again, where's the position for him on this roster? That's the other thing. So I don't see it this year, Tina, personally, as much as I still kind of want it to happen for the Bills. But that's all I had to.
Hold on, I got something from Q. Q said check out the kid named Kendall Paul. I wonder where is he from? Like what position is he? What position does he play?
Is he a Texas A&M guy? Defensive back? Oh no, that guy's on the Lions. I'm sorry. Kendall Paul, defensive back at East Texas A&M. Wow, Q's getting deep on this one. This one, let's see.
I'll see what I can find on him. Corner.
Yeah.
All right, so CB got it. Tina, I like Kyle McCord too. I watched a good amount of Kyle McCord over the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those throws are very high level. I was kind of impressed with him. I'm not gonna lie. He made some really, really nice throws.
Plays in Western New York right now. Sort of acclimated to Western New York in a sense. I mean, why not? Right? So wouldn't be a terrible choice, especially if we have as long as we have all our other needs addressed, of course.
But again, so before we get out of here, I just want to one more time, go through the position list for the top 30 visits as of 14 hours ago.
Okay.
Corner, wide receiver, edge, corner, edge, defensive tackle, safety, wide receiver, and wide receiver. Private workouts, wide receiver, safety. Landon Parker, Troy, wide receiver. Jared Penning, UNI, offensive line. Local Pro Day, Elijah Clark, safety. Sean Dolak, linebacker. You know which position I only mentioned once? Linebacker. You know why? We don't need a linebacker. So all of this talk about the Bills should take Carson Schwarzenegger or Jahad Campbell or Chris Paul, bro, we're not. We don't need a linebacker.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
I know you guys you have your favorites.
Yeah, no.
I know you have your favorites. I'm sorry. You're not getting a linebacker.
No.
Let it go. You may get one. It's probably going to be Dolak. And it's probably going to be late. But you're not getting a I don't think you're getting a linebacker in the first two, 3 rounds. I don't see it.
That could be a next year.
I don't see it.
That could be next year, depending on what happens with Milano.
Yeah, well, like being said, man, this doesn't mean just because we made a move to get some capital, some financial flexibility this year, doesn't mean that this is the last that Milano's going to be in a Bills uniform. Milano may get I think Milano's getting re-signed as long as he stays healthy. As long as he's healthy, I think he's going to be a top 5 linebacker again because he's that good. And I think if Milano plays well, so will Terrell Bernard. Do we do the right thing at center? I mean, at corner, I think this defense is going to have a really good year. But that's all I got. I just, guys, again, stop asking for linebackers.
Yep.
Stop talking about first-round edges. We're not getting them. Okay? The first-round edge thing, I don't think it's going to happen, guys.
No.
I mean, could be wrong. I could be wrong. But, since Brandon Beane has been the GM of the Buffalo Bills, every single draft, he's drafted a top 30 visit. And out of these top 30 visits, none of them have been linebackers.
We're not going linebacker now.
I'm saying.
Unless there's someone late or maybe an undrafted guy. That's the only way.
Tylee Williams is a top 30 visit. Trey Amos is a top 30 visit. So I think that's where we're going. I think we're going corner and DT early. And then I think wide receiver is where they want to go after that. I like the edge room. I think the Bills like the edge room. I think they like the edge room. So I know a lot of you guys don't. I know a lot of Bills fans don't like the edge group that we have. But and I do think that there's room to draft an edge because AJ being in the last year his deal and Bosa being on a 1-year deal. Yes, I do think that there's room to draft a defensive end. It's not going to happen early though, man.
Well,
we'll talk about it next week, right?
The other elephant in the room, could number 40 potentially come back to the Bills at some point?
No, God, no.
You don't think that's going to happen at all?
I'm good, chance. Bro. No.
He doesn't pull the Dominican Sue and wait half the season and show up in the
let Javon Solomon play. Let's go get a guy in the 4th or 5th. No, I'm good, man. There's too many. Yeah, I like. There's a few edges we'll talk about next week. I'm good though. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just a thought I had in my mind, something that maybe they have in their back pocket, but I would agree. Yes.
I think he's washed, man. I mean, listen, if he's going to come back on like a minimum deal and then he'll like play the first 6 weeks and then when Hoy comes back, he goes to the practice squad, sure. Yeah, why not? Okay. I don't think he'll do that though. I think, he's a Hall of Famer, man. Like this guy,
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
walks out of the league, and the day he retires, however many years it takes to be eligible, he'll get his gold jacket immediately, like first ballot, Hall of Fame.
100%. 100%.
I am,
Yeah.
I am, definitely partial to bringing back Jordan Phillips, though. I think we should draft Jordan Phillips too. Like, if we don't get Tyler Williams early, I would take Jordan Phillips out of Maryland, and then sign Jordan Phillips to the practice squad. We got Jordan Phillips Part 2 and Big Coat Poppy coming back.
There you go. Yeah, 2 Jordan Phillips. Why not? Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
all about
I know Brother Bill will be happy.
Yeah, he would. That for sure. Yeah, well, that's all I had. I mean, next week again, join us. Next week we're gonna have 2 podcasts before the first round, so maybe the day before we could do some mocks, and we'll have a pregame spectacular for the first round of the NFL draft. So it's gonna be great. So getting more excited now. Feel like we're really inching closer. So, and then we'll check out and see what other visits the Bills may have planned out. Maybe there's some trade rumors coming out. You never know before the draft, but a plethora of options are available for the Buffalo Bills. Hey, I want to thank everyone in the group chat today. You guys are great as always. It's always great to see you. And again, give us a follow at Do Champions, right? On our YouTube and on Twitter X. There is a great contest now for an authentic Christian Benford jersey before April 24th, I believe, as long as you follow Do Champions on YouTube and just go to the Twitter page for the contest rules and definitely get on that. So, and that's really all I had. One other thing Dog brought up here as a late entry, Whittle. Justin Simmons. I saw that look.
Listen, man. There's some smoke there, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think so too.
We'll
I
see.
think I would not object to it either. So that is for sure. But not a lot.
We gotta
of
keep that on the low, man. Don't tell them too much, man. Nah, they So we'll see. We'll see what happens with We'll see. Listen, man. I heard that there was an offer out there, but I don't want to get my hopes up on Justin Simmons, man, like I did last year. I believe it when I see it, man. If bro joins the team, that'd be great. That would be excellent because that's an immediate upgrade from Look, you got Justin Simmons and Taylor Rapp as your starting safeties with Cole Bishop and Damar Hamlin and Derek Forrest is like your backups. Yeah, man. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Let's do that.
Absolutely.
But
So thank you, Tina, and thank you, Dog, and thank you, everyone. Thank you to Q, and thank you to Leishan. It was good to see him in here. Jan Sports as always, and Mark from Buffalo. Everyone, all the usual suspects. So we appreciate all of you joining us this Wednesday night. What's up, Whittle? One more.
There was one more pre-draft top 30 visit that it's supposed to happen this week or next week. Excuse me. Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals, Utah State. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, that would be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that was one of my picks as well. So, but we'll see.
Yeah, man.
I did have him going late second. Maybe it's a little high, but it's like you brought up the great point, Whittle. If we're in a position where we can, if we have to overdraft a little bit to get who we need to make the biggest impact, I'm all about it. I'm not worried about the optics. I'm not worried about some draft guru saying, "Oh, you didn't get the best value." No, it's perfectly fine. So,
listen, man. If the Bills sign Justin Simmons, draft Trey Amos, Tyleek Williams, and Jalen Royals, I'm turning the rest of the draft off. I don't need to see anything else. If we get all that done by the end of day 2, I'm good. Whatever they do after that is just like, all right, cool.
I'm gonna kick back down at my mom's and on the lanai by the pool, and I'm just gonna have a nice cold one with them and just watch the.
I'm telling you right now, they do that. I'm putting $1,000. If we get all of that, I'm putting $1,000 on the Bills winning the Super Bowl.
There we go. All right.
I'm doing it for sure. Because that, bro, I'm sorry, that would be,
Yeah.
that's easy money. The Bills get all that. I don't see it. I don't see him. I don't see him getting beat in the playoffs. I don't see it. You gonna tackle somebody at work? Dog crazy.
Oh, dog's the best. He really is. I'm telling you, if the Bills win the Super Bowl, I need to go to the parade, and I need Dog right with us for that somehow. I got to get his energy for that. No question about it. So that would be incredible.
Absolutely.
But well, that's all
All
I
right,
have
folks.
on this Wednesday night.
That's
So
it.
thank you, everyone, and
Come back
excellent
next
as
week,
always.
man.
Yeah, we'll look forward to it.
All right,
Have a
go
great
Bills.
week, and go Bills.